get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Okay. I hope we're back. I hope like hell we're back. Okay. All right. So I'm playing music in case like something happens and I have to like jump in and like talk about something. Okay. All right. Ban lists. Crash out. The first 5 tournaments of the first 5 rounds of the calling. We still have a lot to talk about tonight. God, it's been an hour. It's been over an hour, and I feel like we're like not even really through like the things I wanted to talk about. So anyway, yeah, I guess we'll cut the music. I don't need the music anymore. Oh, Talashar's back up too. Oh wow, things are coming together. It sounds like things are coming together. Guys, thank you all for bearing with me through all of this nonsense. We are gonna jump back in here. All right. So we talked about the Silver Age ban list. I think the ban list is pretty interesting. It's gonna be fun. We'll see what happens. Okay. So let's finish talking about the calling, and then we're gonna talk about some of the other heroes that I am looking at playing. Since we're gonna talk about Victor and why I'm not really a firm believer in Victor doing like Victor not being that great. So round 5, I lose to Prism. I'm 2-3 at the calling at this point. We have 2 rounds left of day 2. I always play out all the rounds. Round 6, I played against Mark, who was playing KO Armed and Dangerous. Mark was at 11 when the game ended. I did lose this game. My opponent was on 3 copies of Cast Bones, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've not seen all 3 copies of that card in a while in the deck, so I was a little surprised to see that there was so many of them in their list, but at the same time, like, it's a good card, and like if you're expecting a lot of like, blocking like fatigue style stuff, then I completely get that. So I pretty much just like wrote that I couldn't get tempo, that I had a pretty decent start, but I was not able to like finish everything. That like the game started okay, but I just could never really get tempo. And then in round 7 of the calling, I played against Jeff, who was playing Dorinthia. Dorinthia is already a pretty good matchup for Victor, and I was at 18 when the game ended. Clashes went my way, like blocking went my way, like just good tempo. Jeff gave me a lot of armor early to try and like get some tempo back, and I had the D-React to be able to stuff it. So it just ended up lining up pretty well for me. So, hey, Damien, Dylan, what's up, guys? Question for anyone. I have not played Fab long enough to understand the Omens advert. What does it mean for a set? Is it a theme? So, Holland, I will say somebody made the comment that this was Tyler from Righteous Gaming said that he feels like it's going to be a lightning only set is like his big prediction. So I don't know how accurate that is. Like, I don't know, like, what that looks like or if that's like a real thing. But like that was like Tyler's prediction. And like, like it almost looks like kind of like cosmic and like, they like the Omens in the trailer does like the lightning thing. I thought that was pretty cool. So, but anyway, I went 3-4 at the calling, playing Victor, which was not a great run, honestly. Yo, Havoc, what's up, dude? Was it not obvious? It's Ice Lightning. I mean, I could definitely see us like going back to like, like Voltaire or whatever it's called, like, or like her weapon. I could see something like that. But yeah, anyway, so ended up going 3-4 in the calling. I'm gonna be honest. I had like everybody said some nice things about my calling run, and I'm very appreciative of that. Like you guys being supportive and how amazing the community is continues to mean a lot. I'm at a point in my Flesh and Blood journey where going negative at a big event like this, like going 3-4 has the same feeling to me as going 2-20. Like it's the same vibe for me at this point. And don't get me wrong, that is a very like confident / arrogant thing to say because I feel like I do well at these events very often, like more often than not. But going negative is like really not. I'm really not happy with that. That was a really big hit for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it can happen to anybody, and I completely understand. But like, it is a really big hit for me with how all of that like shook out. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there was some of it. I don't really think I could have dodged or done anything against. Like, I played 2 Verdants. I was lucky to win one of those matchups. KO Armed and Dangerous and Rhinar are not great matchups, but they are winnable. And like losing to a Prism, it's very possible, but very unfortunate. So I don't know. The exact same. Going negative sucks regardless of the ratio. I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Ellie and Scott were doing ice and lightning puns the whole day. Oh, so they definitely know something, right? That would be cool. Like, yeah, they definitely know something. Literally say something about along the lines of Chile and Montreal, shocked to see. Oh, so they definitely know something. They definitely know something. Based on your matchups, would any other hero choices have been more optimal? I mean, against things that I played about, something that would have been more optimal. I don't know. That's tough to say, because there are I played against a very good spread, but I did not play against the first or the third most represented hero. I played against 0 Acilio, and I played against 0 Mario, which was kind of crazy. So I don't know, like we're going to talk about some other decks that I want to try and I want to test. So we are going to look at some other things to see like what I can test and what I can play to like, try to like get back into like, into like playing a different hero. Cause this weekend taught me a lot that I probably should have learned sooner about Victor. And we're going to talk about all that here in just a little bit. And like, what's pushing me in a different direction. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I did have a very wide spread, which I don't think is bad. Ellie confirmed in Icelander chat that she knows nothing we don't. She was just riffing, apparently. Oh, okay. Yo, Fabton, I appreciate that, brother. I mean, it's okay. There's good things to take away from bad results, and we can always work on them. And I think I've narrowed down like a really good thing to move forward with. I'm so expecting there to be an elemental ranger. Also, the casters were alluding to Volthaven Ice and Lightning. I mean, I could see like I could see like a new ranger, like for sure. I do think we're going back to the aggro roots. We're going to talk about one of the decks that I'm looking at right now. So calling did not go my way. Let's fast forward to Sunday. Let's talk about the showdown. The showdown was Silver Age. Round 1, I played against Olympia. My opponent's name was Donghi. I really hope I'm saying that right. If not, I apologize. They were at 1 when the game ended. I was forced to go first, unfortunately. I died to a down but not out, which was really neat. It was kind of a cool tech piece that I was not really expecting to see. So that was kind of cool to see down but not out, to lose the game to it. Like I really like to see cards like that, like, getting some value. Was really cool. But the game had a very, very like weird start for me. So like my turn was like, just like I discarded Agile Windup, I think, in Arsenal and passed. My opponent goes red felling swing attack for 10. Well, I jam all my armor in front because my hand's pretty good. So I take 7, go down to 13. My opponent's turn, or my turn after that was like, I discarded a blue, so I could only go 2 wide. It was super awkward. Like I had kind of a clunker. I put my opponent down to like 7 or something. Like it was still a pretty good turn. Put my opponent down like 7 or 8 or something like that. My opponent's turn, the hand after that, is red felling swing, attack, red overpower from Arsenal. So I ended up not blocking because I was at 17 and I took 14 down to 3. Well, this ended up being really weird because my opponent's hand blocked very well. And so basically, like, it kind of felt like the game was over on the second turn. I don't know. That, like, I hate to be like one of those people that like sounds like that, like gripes about like not really having a lot of control. But like this game just felt like one of those games where like it didn't really matter what I did. My opponent had it, and I was just gonna die pretty much no matter what happened. Now like my opponent played very well. Like, you know, like I'm not taking anything away from them. Like I just 2 red fellings and 2 turns and a red overpower, like, and then dying to down but not out, like feels pretty unfortunate. So anyway, I was 0-1 in the showdown, but I was like, okay, like we're gonna keep playing. Round 2, I actually got to play against his name's Matt Renz. You guys have seen him on camera before. He is a buddy of our boy Trent, who hangs out in chat all the time. So that was pretty cool. Like we got to sit and like, you know, talk about like, you know, how like we're friends like mutually through Trent and stuff like that. And so Matt was also playing KO. I lost to die roll and went first. We both had hands that were quad blues and quad reds. But his quad red hand had cards that did not block in it, and he died because of when it showed up. Like it was just one of those like weird games where I just ended up winning because of the series of draws that put me in that situation. Like I don't really feel like I outplayed my opponent. We just did KO things on both sides, and luckily I came out ahead. Round 3, I played against Dorinthia. Her name was Andromeda. I did completely pronounce this wrong. I tried to pronounce it Andromeda when I sit down, like a moron. But her name was Andromeda, and she was playing Dorinthia. I did get lucky enough to win the dice roll. I was at 3 when the game ended, but I like going second was massive. I ended up being able to hold on to trackers for quite a while. And then I was able to go like wild ride, break the beaten trackers to have 2 action points to go like rough up into Bear Fangs to end up ending the game. So it worked out pretty well. It was a really close game, but just like being able to go 3 wide with the beaten trackers that late was really, really powerful. So moved on to 2-1. Was feeling pretty good here. Round 4, I played against Marouge, I believe is how you pronounce their name. And they were playing Flavo. They went first, and we played a game where I ended up losing, and I was at 3 when the game is over. And I got to the end game, and I felt like I was in a pretty good spot because I kept blocking with 2 cards and like throwing like, you know, 9 or 10 or something like that, like getting a lot of value with like Bear Fangs and other things. And I was like, okay, I'm in a pretty good spot. The last 2 turns of the game, my opponent wins a test of vigor to be able to throw a choke slam at me, a red choke slam off of a 4-card hand. So I would throw something big at them. They would block 7, take 1 or 2, and then they would throw choke slam. And I'm like, okay, well, like I got to give you 2 cards here. Like that's unfortunate. And then on the following turn, it was crash and bash to be able to cheat out and do the exact same thing. And I had 2 cards that didn't block in my hand, so I wasn't able to do anything. So it was really unfortunate the way that it lined up for me. I felt like I was in a really good spot, and then those 2 defensive tools that allowed Marouge to be able to cheat out those resources were really powerful and put Marouge in a very good spot in the late game. Because I honestly thought that I was in a good enough spot to like have that game like winnable. Like I felt like I was probably going to win the game, but it just didn't come together. So I am 2-2 in the right, 2-2. Is that right? Am I thinking of the? I think so. Yeah, I'm 2-2. Yeah, losing to Flavo made me 2-2. I'm pretty sure. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna top 8. Like that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Round 5, I played against Paul, who was playing Florian. Honestly, Paul's first 2 turns like didn't really do anything. Like they were all set up. I went first. I made like an agility token and a might token and passed with an agile windup, and their hand just didn't really do anything. Like my like Paul's first turn was pitch a card to play the 1-cost thing that says make 3 rune chants and decompose, but there was no way to decompose. So they just made 3 rune chants and passed. Which like I really don't feel like is where that deck wants to be that early in the game. Like so I mean it was just one of those games where like I was just playing offense all game and I just ended up winning. I was still at 11 when the game ended. I was 3-2. Round 6, I ended up playing against Corey. Now, Corey and I had played at the showdown in San Diego, so we ended up running it back. Played Corey. He was playing Reinar. We had the run back. I went first again in this matchup. This was another matchup like last time we played. I went first as well, and my opponent had a hand at the end of the game where we were both at pretty low life totals, and they had 2 red cards that did not block, and they were low enough to where they had to block with their other 2 cards. And so it put me in a situation where the fact that like they had 2 no blocks meant they had to keep it, throw the meat axe. I was able to block with a card, go down to 1, and then end the game from there. I think it took me a couple of turns from there, but I was able to end the game. So I beat Corey in round 6 to move on to 4 and 2. In round 7, I played against James Silver, who was playing DGA Bolton. I did win the die roll. I went second. I got into a weird situation where there were 2 turns. I discarded my only other blue, and I had to use my chest resource 1 turn to be able to go 2 wide instead of going 3 chain links wide, which was pretty unfortunate, to be honest. Like, that just kind of like sucked. So a couple of like turns like that, like really like put me in an awkward spot where like I didn't have another blue. I wasn't able to like, like condense the damage into like 1 turn. And so only going 2 wide was like pretty tough. I had 2 turns like that where going 3 wide, I missed on the blue, and like it just kind of cost me the game. James ended up fatiguing me. So I fell to 4 and 3 at this point. And then in the last round, round 8, I played against Alexander, who was playing Phi. And I had to go first in this matchup, but again, I think this is a matchup where KO is favored. Like, it's probably like a 60%er. Like, if I had to guess, it's like what I'm thinking, roughly 60-65%. But ended up winning. I had a strongest survive turn that like I ended the turn on strongest survive, where it was just like really powerful. It got a rake over the coals, or rake the coals, or whatever it's called. Rake over the coals, I think is what it's called, out of my opponent's hand. And getting that out of their hand, I think, saved me like 4 to 5 life, because I ended the game at 3. And so like if they had that rake over the coals turn, I would have been in a really bad spot. So that lined up pretty well. Because they were in a situation where like they couldn't really block or do anything. They had a lot of 2 blocks. So it worked out really well for me to be able to play it out that way. So finished the showdown 5 and 3 at 53rd, or I'm sorry, 35th. I got my numbers backwards there for a second. So finished 35th in the showdown playing KO. I continue to believe that KO is a very, very powerful deck. Even with the with the BNR, I think KO just gets a little bit better, to be honest. Like, I don't really think KO gets any worse from the BNR. Sirens of Safe Harbor kind of hurts a little bit, but we have Yellow Bear Fangs that I'm playing in my sideboard in only certain matchups. We are live. Yes, I got my internet to come back up. We are live. It looks like everything is still green. Like everything's good. So I think we're rolling. I think we're good to go now. Like, I'm sure, I haven't looked, but I'm sure viewership just dropped off a lot just from like how much we lagged, but it's okay. It's part of it. There'll just be 2 streams for people to watch tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I agree, Matt. I do think that it is like KO is now like probably just definitively best deck. Kano is still very, very powerful. Hitting Spindle sucks. But I mean, like, I still think it's very, very good. Florian did get some value. Oldham Terra got some value from the ban list, so we got some cool things. I want to take a minute and I want to talk about Victor before we talk about, the Montreal metagame and everything like that. Like, I've got all the screenshots pulled up. We're going to take a look at some stuff. But I want to talk about Victor and how I feel about Victor. So when I came back from calling Singapore, I made the comment that in a meta where Gravy and Verdance, like where you had 2 matchups that were virtually 0%, you were walking into a tournament on a good weekend. You were walking into a calling. You start the weekend 0-2. And what I mean by that is that you are going to play at least one Gravy and one Verdance. Now, like, Gravy's not as bad now, but like this weekend, I played two Verdants, right? So you're starting your weekend 0-2. Like on a normal weekend where you get some decent pairings, you have to fight through some of the bad things. Like, obviously, like if we ever like show up with Victor, the dream scenario is that we play against like, 4 Dios, 3 Phis, 3 Syndras, and a Katsu or something like that. But rarely do things line up like that. So we're automatically starting off 0-2 because there are just some 0% matchups in the meta. From there, if you want to top 8 a calling, you have to win, excuse me, the other 10 matches you play. Now, winning the other 10 matches you play means that you're in a position where you are not clashing poorly, you are drawing well, like there's no clunky, awkward, like, like jam hands, as Dave calls them. Like you are in a position where things just have to be perfect for you to go 10-2. And that is like best case scenario, right? Unless you just actually punch a lottery ticket and you play against like all the aggro decks in the room, you are in a position where you have to I think at a tier 3 or higher, like at a calling or higher, I just don't think Victor is the play at that high of a level. And that's a very hard pill for me to swallow because I love Victor. I always have. He's one of my favorite heroes in the game. And I think Victor does some really cool stuff. But it just, I don't like, there's too many things that can go wrong playing Victor for me to consider him for calling Memphis. So right now, I am like, we're going to take a step back. I have some other decks I'm going to test and we're going to play. Right now, those 3 decks that I'm looking at for calling Memphis, which is in 3 weeks, we're a long way away from there, is Dash.io, Verdance, and Arachne Marionette. Those are the 3 decks that we're looking at. Now, the first question you're going to ask me is, why are we not considering Acilio? Acilio is, without a doubt, one of the best decks in the format. Like, it is super powerful. It is very, very good. But I don't want to play Acilio because even though in the 3 weeks I would be like thinking about it, like, and I would be playing the deck, I believe that I could learn the deck to play it at like a proficient level. Like, insanely broken and knowing everything? No, but I do think I could play it at a very proficient level with 3 weeks of practice. The problem is that everyone is targeting Acilio. And like, you are showing up with a deck that is literally just like being targeted by every deck in the meta. Every person is playing hate into you. And that is just not somewhere I want to be. I don't think that's something that I want to like, risk going into a tournament. Like if I'm playing Acilio 80% of the way there and you are teched for it, like to the 9s, like I'm probably just losing some of those games. And so I'm going to focus on Arachne Marionette, Verdance, and I'm going to focus on Dash.io. Because those are 3 decks that I think I can like play and split my time between and learn a lot of things and like, get to know more about them. So that is where I'm at. That is everything that I'm thinking about. Those are the decks we're going to be testing leading up to Memphis. I think I'm going to start with Dash.io. Dash, like Mechanologist, is a class that I really enjoy. It holds a like special place in my heart from my original Dash.IE days. And Dash.io does some very bonkers stuff. Yeah. No, I agree, Havoc. Did not hear Pirate Puffin on that list. Okay, so let's talk about that. Pirate Puffin, or just Puffin in general, right? Like, I think is a good deck, but I watched 2 people that I know are extremely good Mechanologist players not day 2 the calling because of like just some like awkward draws, like some bad things that could have happened, like, some tough matchups, whatever it was. I watched 2 very, very good Puffin players that are on my team not make day 2 of the calling. I'm not saying they had to win for me to be all in on the deck, but like, a solid day 2 run would have like put that on my list. And the fact that neither of them made day 2 put me in a position where like I just don't think I want to be in that world. Yeah, Keaton. I don't get me wrong, like I love Emma and Jesse, and they make the deck like a lot of fun and look really cool, but I'm just gonna stay away from it. Play Huntsman. That is something that we were talking about the other day. I think right now I am going to stay away from like off meta heroes. If I'm being honest, I've been playing Victor for like probably the better part of 6 or 8 months. Like I've played Victor since he came out in 2024, but I've been playing like since Aurora hit LL, I've been playing like solely Victor and Syndra for the last 6 to 8 months. And so I think we're at a point now where like I am just going to be playing some of the meta decks. And KO is about to LL. I don't like Gravy Bones. I also don't think Gravy Bones is in a good spot right now. Acilio is being targeted by everything. So Verdance, Mario, and Dash.io are the 3 decks I want to focus on. And I know that Verdance has a chance of LLing, but I already own most of the stuff. I hate Victor, but love you. Yo, PM, I appreciate that. Love you too, buddy. Oh, by the way, a fun anecdotal story about this. One of the judges, her name is Stephanie, Sunny or Svetazar, and Stephanie I have become good friends with. And I was told that it is a tradition in Bulgaria called Grandma Marta, is what it's called. I think that's what she said. Where you wear like red and white until you see like a stork or a blooming tree or something or a blossoming tree, and then you hang it on it as a way to like welcome spring. Thought that was really cool. So Stephanie was nice enough to give me one and to give Carly one. So you're supposed to put it on somebody. So Stephanie put it on my wrist this weekend, and then I put Carly's on her wrist when I got home. So I thought that was pretty cool. Why not Fi? Do you consider him off meta? I don't consider Fi off meta. I just think there are better picks, if I'm being honest. Like, we're going to take a look at some of the numbers here in just a minute, and I hope that's going to help fill in a picture for you guys. Gravy is fine. You just hate him. I don't think Gravy's like... I mean, I do hate Gravy Bones. But, like, I'm at a point where I would play it if I thought it was a good pick. And, like, after talking with everybody, like, I mean, there's a lot of people... There's multiple people on our team who, like, have played a lot of Gravy Bones, and they don't want to play Gravy Bones because, like, they think he's not a good pick right now. Dio, best deck in format? I mean, Connor makes it look really easy, doesn't he? Connor's a very good Dio player. Fi is strong, but not consistent from what I've heard. I've also heard that, Chicken. I've heard that, like, a lot of people say that, like, sometimes you have this, like, 35-point turn and your opponents can't recover. And then sometimes you do nothing all game. So, yeah, like, they hate him because they ate real ones. Rose, I think you're in my, like, like, I'm going to say, like, Singapore Victor mindset right now, where I was just playing it even though I don't think it was that great. So, yeah. Mario swap would be fun. Okay, so MP, actually, it is really funny that you talk about Vincent. Because Vincent is a deck that has always intrigued me because of how complicated it is. Now, keep in mind, me, Guardian player, me, no complicated. But I do really think that learning Vincent would be a lot of fun. I've played it a couple times on stream. Fabton makes it look really easy. If I'm being honest, like, Fabton makes the deck look awesome. I also, like, on a side note, big shout out to June for, like, her run this weekend. Like, June put on an absolute freaking clinic this weekend. Like, she was crushing it this weekend playing Vincent. It was really cool to see and to, like, watch and stuff like that. So if you can't kill Verdance, why bother? I mean, if we can't beat Verdance, like, I agree. Connor's insane, dude. Multiple times he's got me with the literal last card in his deck. Oh, I think it is safe to say, and like, I'm not just like I'm not just like running my mouth here. I think Connor may be the best Dash.io player in the world. If not, he's definitely like top 3. Like Connor's insanely good. I fear Fabton might have left too soon. June on the pod when? I mean, I don't know. If anybody knows how to get a hold of June, let me know. Like, reach out to me if you know how to get a hold of her, and I'll see if she has any interest in being on the podcast. Because like as a person who likes to play their hero that they vibe with, I'd be curious to know why June felt like Vincent was a good pick. So if anybody knows how to get a hold of her, reach out to me. Like, we'll see if we can get her on the podcast or something like that. That would be awesome. That would be cool. So anyway, that's my shtick on Victor and my heroes and like where I'm at and what's going on, because there's just been a lot. For me, like I have really stood by Victor, and don't get me wrong, I'm probably like there's probably still a pretty heavy chance I'm going to play Victor at ProQuest season, because I am a firm believer, and like I just want to say this, that when I talk about not taking Victor to a big, like a tier 3, a calling or bigger, when I'm saying he can't win one of those without a perfect run, I believe that. But I also believe that at the ProQuest level, you can win with anything that you are very proficient in. So I will probably still play Victor at ProQuest this season, just not at callings, because I believe that you being the better player and you being more practiced on your hero is more important at ProQuest than it is at like a calling, where you need to be playing a better deck and be the better player. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. Is the aggro Jarl list out there somewhere? I haven't seen the aggro Jarl list. I did talk to a few people who were playing it, but I have not seen it. I also think Tao Tao finished 9th on Huntsman, I think, if I remember that correctly. Oh, it's in purple? Sounds like it's in purple. So let's talk about the metagame. Like, let's talk about this weekend. Like, the metagame, everything that happened. Blizzard. Throw that in there just for everybody. Let's talk about the metagame. I am pretty sure if you listen to the podcast or if you look in the Discord, you can find a quote from me where I said these were going to be the 3 most popular decks this weekend. That, like, I thought these were going to be the 3 most heavy, like meta decks that there were. How do we find the purple Discord? I mean, the purple Discord is like, hang on. I can probably just grab you guys an invite to the purple Discord. Give me a second. I'm never in purple, to be honest, because like I've been into purple a handful of times, and like most of the time people are like very rude to me. To add friends to the server, ask someone with permissions. I cannot send you an invite to this. You are looking for purple. You will have to Google it, unfortunately. I cannot help you. I apologize. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure there is like a place where you can find me saying that I think these are going to be the 3 most popular heroes. Now, admittedly, I did, like really hone in on Mario and Acilio, but I was talking to multiple people who can vouch and say that I was saying Verdance was going to be highly represented this weekend, that it just felt like she was on a comeback. It felt like people were really in on her and they really liked her. As we round out like pretty much everything, like, 20 through 10, we actually had 10 Vincets, which really surprised me. 17 dashing KOs, 13 Phis, 12 gravy bones. That number was higher than I thought it would be. 12 gravy bones was more than I was expecting. I'm just going to level with you guys. Like, I was not expecting there to be 12 gravy bones. Like, I just did not foresee that being the thing. I don't know. Like, just I didn't see it happening. But I think there was a couple at day 2. We'll take a look at the conversions in a minute. 11 Syndra, 10 Jarl, and then we had 10 Katsu and 10 Victor. Now, I've already looked at this conversion percentage. I've already looked at Victor's conversion percentage. It was not great. There were a few people I talked to that they said they thought Katsu was going to have a pretty good impact this weekend. I don't remember seeing one do well. I'm pretty sure there was an Ira in top 8, but I don't think there was a Katsu anywhere. So anyway, yeah. Seeing that many Gravy Bones like kind of surprised me. I don't think Gravy Bones was in a good spot this weekend, but people play what they love. I'm living proof. All of our 7 heroes are RKO, Reinar, and Marlin. I will say that Taylor was kind of down on Marlin after we talked about it this weekend. Now, like, I don't know if he's actually going to change decks or if he's just going to, like salty runbacks in Memphis with Marlin. He might, I don't know. Like, I'm not here to say what Taylor is or is not going to do. But I do know that he was not very pleased with the deck and how it felt after this weekend. So I think he might be slowly stepping away from that moving forward. We have a few interesting decks here: 6 Huntsman, 6 Prism, 6 Puffin, and 6 Valda. The 6 Valda is the one that stands out to me. Now, before this weekend, the Runaways on their podcast said that they felt like Valda was one of the best decks in the format, if not the best deck in the format. Now, I think there was a Valda that finished 10th, if I remember correctly. There was a very interesting game where Tao Tao and the Valda player who finished 10th or 11th or something like that ended up drawing in Swiss, and that cost them both to miss top 8, and Naib snuck in at 8th, which was pretty interesting. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Valda's back on the list. I still think Prism's in a bad spot. Like, I think if you're playing Prism right now, you're a truther. I do think there is some validity to Huntsman being pretty good. Like, I do think there is some validity to Huntsman being pretty good. Yes, the Silver Age BNR did happen, Lucas. We looked at it and talked about it earlier. Wasn't only Cody talking up Valda and Noah and Lucas were skeptical? I don't think Noah and Lucas were skeptical. I think they were more pointing out that like Valda is one of those decks that like you can easily tech for with some tall defense reactions. Was more what Noah and Lucas were saying, was how I interpreted that. Just woke up? Yeah, no worries, no worries. Valda's got bumped to 18 and 20th. 18 and 20th? Oh, he must have lost his last round then. He must have lost his last round. I think the Runaways were mostly joking because it was Kalashar data during a lot of people playing new decks. It was mostly Cody. I mean, I think they might have been trying to be funny, but I do think there is some validity to their statement. I do think there is a world where, like, with KO being highly represented, with Acilio being highly represented, like all these decks that want to draw cards, like I do think Valda has a decent place in the meta. Like very, very, very seriously. You're also favored into other Guardians. Like, you have a pretty decent Gravy Bones matchup. Like, I'm not going to say it's like a slam dunk, but you have a pretty decent Gravy Bones matchup. So, I mean, like, I think there's like worlds where like Valda actually looks pretty decent. Moving to 5 heroes, we had 5 Boltons, we had 5 Kasais, 5 Iras, and 5 Dorinthias. One of the Iras made top 8. They were playing like Ira Fatigue. I'm pretty sure is what they were playing. So, I mean, I don't know. Like the Ira Fatigue deck, I think surprises people more than it does anything. I don't really know that Ira Fatigue is that good right now. I mean, maybe the Ira Fatigue deck, has like pretty good play into Dio at being able to fatigue Dio, but I think that Connor beat the Ira player in top 8, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. And then looking at our last page, we had 4 Teklo Vossens, those brave souls. 3 Riptides, 3 Tough Nuts, 2 Slippy, 2 Fang, 2 Max, 2 Pleiades. I'm assuming those were Fatiguides. We had 1 Levia, 1 Lyeth, and 1 Olympia. I don't know who showed up playing Olympia. You're holding out for all of us, brother. You're holding out for all of us. There was a Riptide who did pretty well. Vince, who used to run the online armories in Discord, Vince was playing Riptide and ended up doing pretty well. Cody was saying that Valda is the best deck because he has made a resolution to only play the best deck this year and was trying to get the rest of the people to bandwagon. No cap. LOL. Well, whether they were being serious or not, I do think there is like some seriousness to like actually like to Riptide, like, or I'm sorry, to Volda being good in the meta. I will say this surprised me. I was expecting more from this. Like, I'll just level with you guys. I was expecting more from this. Like I thought Fatiguides was going to show up more this weekend. With Fatiguides getting the book, with Fatiguides having like like a decent Acilio plan, like I just kind of thought Fatiguides would be more popular. So I'm a little surprised to see that. Let's take a look at the day 2 conversion percentages. Day 2 conversion percentages. I really wish they did this by percentage instead of by number. I know, like, I understand why they don't, but I wish they did. Arachne with the most copies converted. Again, Arachne had Mario had 10 and a 31% conversion rate. I mean, the number one deck in the room, the number one play deck in the room having a 31% conversion rate is pretty good. Like, that's solid. Like 31% when it is the most popular deck is really good. When Cinder was the most popular deck, its conversion rate was like 12 or 15%. Like it was dog shit all the time. So I think this really speaks to how good Mario is. KO was like 4th or 5th most represented, and it almost had 50%. I think that's really good. Verdance, again, came in at 27% as the 2nd most represented deck. We are now seeing it drop off a little bit. 16%. Like, this is where, like, playing, like, Acilio was targeted. Acilio is a hard deck to play. And it only had a 16% conversion rate. And I think it shows. I think it shows, to be honest. Another deck that was fourth most represented, I think. 18% at Dash.io. Which is not great, considering that I just said I wanted to play Dash.io. But... you know, they're like 18% is not great. 18% is not great. It's quite good in testing. I mean, I think Fatiguides is good. God, I hate Codex. Leave no witnesses. Oh, I mean, don't we all, right? Just play Mario. I mean, Mario's a really good deck. It's one of the 3 decks we're going to be... It's one of the 3 decks we're going to be testing. I really enjoyed watching June play Vincent. Same, Rachel. Same. June put on a clinic this weekend. She made Vincent look very easy, and it was really cool to see like such a rogue hero have such a good run. Don't get me wrong. I think Connor's win has been a long time coming because Connor's a very good Dio player, but I was really hoping to see Vincent win, if I'm being honest. Oh, yeah. Connor's been playing Dio for a long time. Long time. You should get Kashi on if you want to Mario. That would be a good stream. People act like everyone has all the cards to just swap. So, I mean, one shot, I will say this. I think that most people who hang out in the chat like assume that I have most of the cards to swap back and forth between decks because I am a grinder. You know, like I'm constantly trying to play and get better. I will say if I was going to play Mario, it would be a big chunk of change I would have to drop to play the deck. I have like all the Dash.io stuff. I have most of the Verdance stuff. I'd have to drop like a couple $100, I think, to play Verdance. But like Mario, I'd have to buy most of the deck. You have a grinder account? Okay, whoa. That is not what I said. That is not what I said. I am happily married, thank you. Hagrid, you should have told us. If it is ever meta, she just gets targeted by tech. I mean, like Vincent kind of just gets targeted by fatigue unless you're a very good like Vincent player. Thoughts on what hammer for Volda? I mean, like what hammer for Volda? Like you're probably on like Titan's Fist and like Shield Beater for different matchups, if I had to guess. I got Mario if you want. Yo, Colby coming in clutch with the save. My man. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate that. You'd fit right in at the RNC. Hey, me and wife looking for something to spice it up account. Bro, y'all are crazy. Chat goes wild sometimes. Y'all are way out there. He's a competitive player. He has to play the best deck if he wants to cash in events, and if that requires having a vast collection or a lot of friends with cards. Now, I will say, more often than not, Jorge, it is me having friends who are willing to help me with cards and decks and things like that, and I'm very, very grateful. Like Colby. Colby is like not only a friend but a local of mine, and he just offered to like let me borrow his deck. Like, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. Like, having good friends who own different decks than you is like a very nice. I'm very happy about that. Like, I'm very, very grateful for friends that are willing to help me out. Play Riptide? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. One of the mods on the Assassin Discord, I can shoot you an invite. Oh, I'm in the Assassin Discord. Colin invited me a while back. I just don't really hang out in the Assassin Discord very often, if I'm being honest. I don't play a lot of Assassins, so like I've never spent like a ton of time there. But yeah, no, I mean like Colin is someone like I've talked with pretty regularly. Like Colin's a really cool guy. I like Colin. As we continue looking on, I mean, 2 of the 6 Valdas made it into day 2, which I think does speak a little bit. 2 of the 10 Jarls. I would love to see this ice aggro list. Syndra just continues to suck. Like, I don't know. I just think Syndra's bad. The only Huntsman that made day 2 was Tao Tao, which I think also speaks. There was 1 Puffin that made it to day 2. And there was 1 Victor that made it to day 2. Which was not me, Sag. So I will say, wait, what? I expect some participation going forward. Wait, participation for what? I'm so confused. In the Assassin Discord, I'll see what I can do. Let you borrow my bling so I can criticize any creases or nicks. Michael Paul is hilarious. Just own a full master set collection and lid cards out with deposits. Yo, that's crazy work. Since you were talking about upgrading your game, I mean, Bolton would be something else. That's true. That is true. So I want to go back and I want to touch on Victor for just another minute, like just in case anybody missed this. I spent a few minutes ago talking about how I am stepping away from Victor competitively for the time being because of a few reasons. Like, I feel like I'm walking into events 0-2 because you play against 2 Verdants and, you know, you have to win your other 10 or 11 games to make top 8. And I don't want to be in that situation. So I'm looking for a different deck. So in that mindset, as a specialist, there have been a lot of tournaments where I have been 1 or 2 Victors that made day 2 because they, not to sound arrogant, but like I am an above average Victor player. Like, I really like Victor. I understand his ins and his outs, his lines, his everything. Like, I'm really good with the hero. And so I feel like Victor has always felt better to me than it does to a lot of people because I have been this one person so many times. And so in my head, that has made it an outlier for me. It is not made, let me rephrase. It is not made it an outlier for me. I should have been looking at the data and going, I'm the one Victor. Victor is not a good deck for the weekend. I made it because I got lucky with some matchups and I'm a good player on Victor. And so now looking at this number and seeing that 1 and being one of the people who went 3 and 4, I'm like, okay, I'm now seeing it as like the outlier that it should have been. And don't get me wrong, I am not trying to take anything away from this Victor player. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody who makes it to day 2 with their deck or anything that they're playing. I'm just saying that like I should have been evaluating myself as the outlier instead of what it should be. Like, I was thinking, oh, this is how it should be instead of letting this be the exception to the rule. So like that is another reason that I'm stepping away from Victor. All right, as we continue rolling, let's look at top 8. Top 8 breakdown. We had 1 repeat hero, and surprise, surprise,
Lizard.
It was Acilio. We had Vincent, Phi, Acilio, KO, Dash.io, Acilio number 2, Dorinthia. I'm sorry, is this Silver Age? Yep. And we had a Fatigue Ira. Now, looking at this, June beat Naib in top 8. Wesley beat Michael Hamilton in top 8. I heard that was crazy. I didn't get to see the game. I don't know what happened. Connor beat Joe in top 8. And Nauris, hope I'm saying that right, beat Joseph in top 8. Then in top 4, June beat Wesley in top 4. Was a crazy ending to that game. Was a wild ending. And then Connor beat Nauris. Again, I hope I'm saying that right, in top 4. And then in the finals, Connor goes on to win it, and Dash.io wins the whole event. If I had a secure way to ship you my Mario deck, I would. Oh, I appreciate that, Martin. I appreciate that. I think you'd be a good Dio pilot. You've had experience with mech and you love Dash. I mean, I played a couple of games of Dio in the Airbnb last night, and I got to tell you, it was a vibe. Like, playing Dio was a lot of fun. There's a lot of things I have to learn about Dio that I'll need some help with, but the deck was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Am I going to get some games next weekend? Is that the Charlotte ProQuest on Sunday, Drew? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, Wesley missing the might changed a lot of things. Also, Wesley not blocking the flail of Agony changed a lot of things, too. Yeah, I should be there Sunday, Drew. Should definitely be there Sunday. I mean, yeah, I really like Dio. I think it's a fun deck. And I think it's a deck where you're... It's a deck that can do just dummy broken shit. So I think you're rewarded for, like, playing... Like, for knowing the ins and outs of your deck very well. You just got to remember that there was a world where Michael Hamilton was gaslit into playing Bravo. Hamilton played Bravo at Worlds in what year? AKL. Auckland? Is that Auckland, I'm guessing? Pick up Dio pretty quickly. You know how to punch through fatigue game plans? I do understand how to play against fatigue, so, like, I don't know. We're going to be doing a lot of testing. We're going to be doing a lot of testing over the next couple of weeks. We got ProQuest. There's ProQuest both weekends. And then also there is Memphis in 2 weeks. And I'm also... All right, this is something we should talk about. I am debating if I want to go to Richmond this weekend. Now, obviously, I think you guys are going to tell me that I should go to Richmond this weekend. And let me tell you why I'm thinking about it. Because I would drive up to Sam's house Friday night. So, like, it's like 4.5 hours to Sam's house. So 4.5 hours to Sam's house on Friday night. Ride with Sam an hour to the 5K in Richmond on Saturday. Play in the 5K. Wake up Sunday. Drive like 2 or 3 hours to Charlotte to play in the ProQuest. Drive 3.5 hours home on Sunday night. Yeah, there's an SCG 5K this weekend in Richmond. Any Kiwis in the chat? What does that even mean? What? I'm very confused. Paul, I will 100% being Memphis, brother. I would love to qualify for the Pro Tour. I mean, we're going to Vegas no matter what. It's Vegas, baby. Carly and I are going to Vegas. We're going to get into Vegas on, like, Monday. I'm going to have to, like, be pulled out of a ditch somewhere, and we're going to try to play cards on the weekend because I fucking love Vegas. Love some Vegas. Anyway. Oh, from someone from New Zealand? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, my bad. Hey, Josh Scott, let's go.
Some biddies.
Yo, Rose, let's go with the $10 super chat. Rose, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Admittedly, that does push me closer to going. I hate to be like the money guy, but, like, that does push me closer to going because I spent a lot of money on cards. Play Valda? Oh, Weston be damned, all right. The fucking Westgate can go to hell. I hate the Westgate. But I do love Vegas. We were actually looking at staying at the Westgate. But it's, like, so expensive. So I think we're going to stay at Planet Hollywood because I think it's cheaper or something like that. Vegas sucks? Yo, miss me. Vegas is where it's at, dog. The first American Pro Tour I haven't wanted to qualify for. Nate, just come on, man. Come hang out. We'll lay by the pool and hang out, dude. Are you wanting to play Dio during SCG Con? That's probably the deck I'm leaning towards the most. So like, Old Crow just said play Volda. I'm gonna be honest, like the thing that I am looking forward to the most is like not playing a Guardian. And I know that sounds weird because I love Guardian. Guardian's like one of my favorite classes ever. But like I don't know. Like I think I'm in a place where I need to mentally step away from Guardian. Oh, Vegas definitely better than Baltimore. I will not play Huntsman. You are right. No balls. You called my bluff, Bing. I will not play Huntsman. Volda's a Rune Blade? Okay. Easy there. Easy. I don't know about that. Play Katsu? No. No. I don't. No. No. Like Katsu might actually be fine, but no. Absolutely not. I would really like to know if the member thing on YouTube again is working. So for anybody who missed it, we had a couple people become members on YouTube earlier, and like I just like did like I don't know, like it did not come through. I don't know, like when I tested it works, but it didn't like it doesn't come through. I don't know. I'm not trying to be that guy, but if someone is on YouTube and you would like to be a member, I would like to test it to see if it works and pops up when you become a YouTube member. So you would be doing me a solid. Like, if you could help me out, I would greatly appreciate that. Which heroes am I leaning towards pivoting into? I am looking at Dash.io, Verdance, and Mario right now, Semper. Volda's the most expensive Guardian? Really? Interesting. Just play Lexi? Easy. Oh, duh. Forehead. Duelist, my concern with Fi is that it's not consistent enough right now, if I'm being honest. Like, it used to be like, oh, hey, there it is. Is aggro blazing as an aggro blazer. Okay, so it worked, but it had the wrong picture. Damn it. Huh. Well, Drew, first off, dude, thank you so much for becoming a member on YouTube. I appreciate that. Drew. I appreciate that a bunch. But, like, I don't know why the wrong picture came through. Damn it. I have, like, these different things set up, and it's supposed to be, like... It did pull in the right text. Like, it pulled in the right things. It just didn't pull in the damn... I don't know. That's so weird. Anyway, as a wizard main, I vote Verdance. I love that everybody has their personal opinions. I mean, like, I get it. You play what you like. Correction, Volda, most expensive Guardian to bling out. Oh, sure. So I like KO. I really like KO, but I feel like KO has the same, like KO's about to LL is my biggest concern. Like, I just being honest, he's about to LL. I'm miffed. Fabrari hasn't updated the BNR yet. I want my Florian deck. Yo, it's been like what, an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then like this is and I know he's trolling right now, but that's actually how people are. Talking like local size events, would you pick Acilio? Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Acilio is bonkers. I just think everybody's like tech to the nines to play against Acilio. But yeah, I'd play Acilio for sure. Puppet is pretty good. Puppet. What? Are people going to ban Florian now? Briar's tools are gone. So I don't know that, like, I mean, we'll just have to see what the meta looks like, right? Like, we'll just have to see what the new meta looks like. Like, the first, like, showdown that we get or whatever, like, this weekend at Richmond should be interesting. Because, like, I think Sunday's a showdown. At Richmond, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, though. Would not be the first time I've been wrong about something like that. Oh, you call Mario Puppet? I mean, people are prepared for Mario, But like I Mario and Acilio are just good enough to where you can still be teched and like you're still good into most matchups, I think. So like I don't know. Like I just Mario is less reliant on combo, even if you're teched for it. So I think that Mario is like probably just a better pick for me than that. Oh, Sunday's 1K is CC? Oh, I did not know it was CC. Okay, so just kidding. No Sage on Sunday. No Sage with the updates on Sunday. Speaking of Silver Age and the showdown, this was the showdown. These are all the decks. Brody won on Briar. Brody was the winner. There was 1, 2, 3 Briars. So we have 3 Briars right here. The finals was a Briar mirror. And then it looks like Michael Fung lost in top 8. We had 2 Lexis that made it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Lexi is a slept on deck, I think, in Sage. We had 2 KOs in top 8, and then we had an Oldham Guardian represent hanging out. Matt's actually Matt is a fellow Victor player. Him and I had a chance to chat, so congrats to Matt for making it to top 4. Jarl Trust. All right, give me your elevator speech. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not playing Jarl, but give me your elevator speech. Hit me with it. I feel like I should pivot to Mario, but I'm 200 games deep in Huntsman, cooking like an insane man for Memphis. I mean, being like, I feel like I'm pivoting away from Huntsman, or I'm sorry, I'm pivoting away from Victor, even though I'm like actually like an insane amount of games into the deck. Oh, one of those KOs is your local. Oh, that's cool. Is it Adam or Daniel? Or, I mean, if you don't want to say, that's also fine. Like, we don't need to be, like, doxing people, I suppose. But, yeah. Pleiades, Fatigue, come on, Guardian. I mean, Fatigue at Ease is probably good. It's Adam. Nice. Does Vincent win the calling? Did some insane things happen on stream in Swiss? So Vincent did not win the calling. Vincent came in second. Yes, June had a crazy good run this weekend. She had a crazy good run this weekend playing Vincent. Huntsman is horribly underrated. I agree. I think Huntsman's about to be better in the meta than most people realize. I agree. Very, very much. All right, let's take a look at some of the decks I've been talking about playing. Because I've been sharing with you guys that there are some like other heroes that I'm like branching out towards. None of these are what I'm looking for. There we go. That's what we want. This is, by the way, all 3 of these lists that we're about to look at are posted in the Discord. These are not mine. I'm not taking credit for them. The first one is Connor's from the calling this weekend. But you can find all 3 of these lists in the Discord. I posted all of them in the stream deck list section earlier. I really like that Connor was on Hanabi Blaster. I think Hanabi Blaster is very underrated. But I really like being able to close the game out with this. I think this is really, really good. So like, I don't know. Like I think Hanabi Blaster is very slept on. There's just all 72 cards in here. He was on 3 copies of Max V. I've seen some like different versions of this list floating around that don't play Max V, which is interesting. I love this card. This is probably my favorite card that came out of like Bright Lights or whatever. And then, I mean, yeah. I would also really like to use my... Where is it? Is he not playing? Oh, there it is. I would really like to use my Gym Pack Fast and Furious promos that I have. Those are really cool. I like these a lot. So I'm very excited to get to be able to use those. I have a lot of like fun foils I can break out for this deck. I have cold foil protocols just because like I collect mech cards because I like them. I'm also of the opinion that this is one of the like most broken cards. Now like I think this card is just absolutely insane. I've talked to my buddy Luke, who is a big Dio player, and he talks about this card. He says this is like one of the best cards in like this is the best card in the game. And to be fair, like, this card is very, very powerful. I like this card a lot. It feels really, really good, and it has a really important role. So Elaine, I look over and just see it says bed rotting time, and I immediately knew what you were talking about from you saying that to me this weekend. That's hilarious. I have the Raging Apes and Puffin. Oh, Fast and Furious? Yeah. As the guy who played it in an official Aggro Blaze tourney. I mean, listen, so Left, I'm not saying it doesn't deserve more testing, but if I'm going to learn Verdance, Mario, and Dio to like a proficient level for Memphis, I don't have time to be playing Pirate Puffin. So I'm going to leave that up to Jesse because Jesse's been playing the deck a lot. And I don't think he's giving up on it. Don't use armor. You must use armor. Oh, I know. It's so funny. People talk up a BIOS update, no max V list, but it has no placements. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. So, like Arena, I think that's because the person who has created the list, Sam Sutherland, has not really like been to a big event. I think he top forward with it or something like that, is what I was told. I don't know. If I win a ProQuest with Bolton, will you buy me a steak dinner? Yes. Sean, I think I'm going to be a Dio gamer. Dio is one of the decks that I'm like looking at testing for Memphis. Yeah, Drew, I'll tell you what. Drew, you win a ProQuest. We'll grab some steaks. We'll grab some steaks in Vegas. I'll buy you and Carly steaks in Vegas. How's that sound? I would love to play Blaze. Like if she was in CC, I would play Blaze. And if she's good enough, I'll play Blaze at like Nats or whatever we do next time I can play her. She won't be legal in Sage for Yokohama, though. Yeah, Sean, I'm pretty excited. Mr. Anderson. I'm sure you had people say that shit to you your entire life. I think I said that to you every time I see your name. I think every time I see your name, I say that to you. Randy, listen, dog. I don't know, Randy. Like we gotta up the stakes for you a little bit. You know, you get it up the stakes. Anyway, Randy, we gotta push it up for you a little bit. But yeah, if you can do something like we'll set a bar, Randy. If you meet, I'll buy you a steak too. I'm not running any list particularly just yet. This is just the list that like Connor won the calling with. Max, indeed, forever in the Shadow Realm. Bought my gold foil 2-face today. Oh, yo, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, I guess it does come in gold foil now. That's cool. That's awesome. Cogdio is fun, but I don't know if it's good enough. Between those deals, feel like I can play a lot of situations, but Burn Bear and Light Up the Leaves goes crazy. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Verdance is very powerful. I also really like this. This is a good upgrade from Compendium of Wraith. I like this card a lot. It seems really solid. Like, played it in the games I played the other night. It was really good. So yeah, this is Connor's list that he played. Again, like, I'm super happy that like I get to play this. I will say the one thing that I am missing if I do play Dio is this. I do not own an adaptive plating. Like, I've never owned one for some reason. I don't know. The tough adjustment, but very rewarding to learn and a lot of fun. I believe that, Dakota. I believe that. That makes a lot of sense. All right, taking a look at another hero that we're going to take a look at. So this is one of the other heroes that I think would be fun to consider playing in Memphis is Verdance. Verdance is, I think, got some upgrades with Elemental Strike and Colors of Aria type stuff. But I think Verdance is still just very, very good. If you all do not know who this is, Crazy Legs is a Twitch channel. They stream every Wednesday and it's paper gameplay. I actually got to meet both of them this weekend. I feel like I caught their names, but I can't remember, and now I feel bad. But the thing that I joked about is that I got a kick out of it because it says on their streaming setup, film or like recorded in Dave's basement or something like that. And when I saw them, that was what I thought of. So I found Crazy Legs Fabrary list. And so like, we're just going to take a look at that. Again, this is in the Discord. Don't you dare join Verdance as a Victor stan. Okay, whoa, easy. Easy. How do I feel about the BNR? I mean, BNR is a big shakeup. I'm excited to see what the meta looks like. I bought fully into Fatigue Pleiades before realizing that unless you can Sherlock Holmes Mind Palace stuff. Oh yeah, I mean Fatiguities is a deck that requires a lot of like mental stuff for you to play it 100%. L Strike allowing Fatigue Plowing to be active on the first decompose is so good. I completely agree. I'm not calling this card Elemental Strike or L Strike ELE. When I talk about this, it's gonna be L Strike. L for loser. L Strike. That's what I'm gonna be calling it. But anyway, I think Verdance is very powerful. Like, I don't know how different this list is compared to the other ones. I do really like 3 copies of Ripple Away. I think Ripple Away is a very, very powerful card right now that should be played in a lot of decks because of Mario. You can shit on a lot of turns for Mario with this card. Sideboard, you have all the defense reactions. You have Potion combo. I mean, there's a second tree if you need to go over the top. Amulet of Echoes for Acilio, I assume. Like, I don't know. I think Verdance is a really powerful deck. She feels pretty good. I hate Ripple Away, and I've never gotten by it. Ripple Away is so good. I never noticed Ripple Away has damage. Oh, that it attacks. That's so funny. Pleiades plays Ripple Away. We got room for you. You know, I talk about trying to step away from Guardian, and Randy's just trying to pull me right back. Every DO list is the same other than the amount of BIOS update and or max Vs you run, and every list is correct depending on the order you draw them. Drewski, that's hilarious. I love that. Oh, I mean, yeah, Ripple Away's juice. Ripple Away's so good into so many matchups. And the last deck I want to talk about, again, I don't know who this person is. I found their list, and we're going to talk about their list tonight. I think Mario is a really interesting deck. Like, and I think he can do some really powerful things. I will say, my teammate Brendan ended up going, I think, 7-5 at the calling, made day 2. Talked about how much Whittle from Bone overperformed, and how good this card was this weekend. So said it made a lot of Calycera dagger tokens. So I'm excited to see more of this card and how it feels. I think Whittle from Bone like lines up pretty well. Under the Trapdoor was a card that's really impressed me this weekend. It actually cost me a game when we were testing. We were testing in the Airbnb, and like this cost me a game. So I think Under the Trapdoor is really, really good. Okay, hang on. Before we talk about what I was going to say, this card, I can't decide if I love this card or if it's dog water. Like, I just cannot decide if this is good. Yo, Himmel, what's up, dude? Yeah, Trapdoor is good. It's always been amazing, and I don't know why people didn't run it. I mean, yeah, it seems really solid. I cannot decide if I hate this card or not. Like, is this card good or not? Because, like, it seems like sometimes, like, I think of that meme where it's like, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. Hitting cards off the top, like, hitting a D-React off your deck or your opponent's deck seems awful. Seems absolutely awful. Do you have to pay the cost? Yeah, you have to pay the cost to play that. Tome is draw 2 in the mirror? Not unless you hit D-Reacts, right? Tome does seem like pure chaos. Do you think CNC is needed in Mario? No. I don't think CNC is needed in Mario at all. And somehow resolve it for 10 mites? Just don't ask me how, it'll just happen. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, like, this is a pretty interesting list. I will say, we were having this conversation this weekend. My boy Nick Tucker, Airbnb GOAT this weekend. Nick hangs out and tests with us all the time. He was playing 3 Inertia Trap this weekend, and he talked about how good it was. So I could be convinced to play 3 of this card if we were going to. Chris, what's up, dude? I don't know. Oh, hey, Sharp, what's up, dude? This is your deck, yes. Nick Tucker is, in fact, the homie. Nick's a G, bro. Adding CNC back in the 80, D-Reacts are everywhere. There are a lot of D-Reacts right now. There are a lot of D-Reacts. Listen, Matt, don't start with me, okay? I have wrestled with this decision for a minute now. Okay? So everybody just take it easy. But yeah, so I mean, I think playing a third Inertia Trap could be pretty good. One Bell, I'm kind of surprised we're not on more, to be honest. I think this card is crazy. Like, I think this card is just I think this card's a trap. I think this card's a $40 trap.
You love to see it.
Yo, Schmuckler7, thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. Guys, if you are here for the first time and you are new to the channel, we got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. They are, what's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Tell me about yourself. Let him turn the horse into glue. I hope I don't try to eat it. I have higher hopes for myself than that. Schism into Verdance or Guardian only? I still don't know if I like it. I don't know. Could be me. Guys, couple things here. I do want to say, don't forget, Q&A tomorrow in the Discord. So every Tuesday from 5 to 6 o'clock, if you are a part of what's called the Aggro Alliance tier on YouTube or on metafy, you have access to be able to do this every week. It is on Tuesday from 5 to 6. That's Eastern time. I'm going to be in Discord for an hour where you can ask me questions about a deck, the meta, like me, whatever's going on. It's just a Q&A session for an hour where we're hanging out. That is if you are a part of the Aggro Alliance tier on YouTube or Metafy, just to make sure everybody understands that. We will be back tomorrow night playing Dio, more than likely. I am going to cut the stream a little bit early. I am pretty tired. My flight left Montreal, and I slept about 5 hours last night, so I'm pretty sleepy. I'm going to go hop into bed and go to bed because I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. But yeah. Are you going to Yokohama? I have no idea what to play, thinking that KO and Verdance will probably be LL. I think KO and Verdance are gone by Yokohama. Definitely. But yes, I will be at Yokohama. And I do think that both KO and Verdance will be gone. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate y'all for being here. I'm going to try and get some of the YouTube membership things fixed so that tomorrow they'll be better for people who are members of the channel. And yeah, from 5 to 6, we'll be doing the Q&A. So make sure you check that out. It's on YouTube, Metafy. You can find all of it there. And then we'll be playing Dio tomorrow, trying to get ready for our Pro Quest and maybe the Richmond 5K this weekend. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Full access to roast